In this week's edition of Rebel Report, we'll begin with the UNLV Duke matchup that took place in front of a record crowd at T-Mobile Arena, and what both teams thought of the rivalry returning. We'll meet some of the international students from the women's tennis team, as well as the newest site proposed for the NFL stadium developments. This is our last episode of the semester, so you'll get to see all of our bloopers. All this and more coming up next. Welcome to the Rebel Report. We're excited to bring you our last show of the semester. I'm Luis Negrete.
And I'm Justin Guzman. It's sad that this is our last show together, but it's pretty cool that after having all female anchors to this point, we finally have some guys anchoring today.
Yeah, finally, man.
I'd say the best for last, I guess.
I guess.
A bit later in the show, we'll sit down with UNLV baseball head coach Stan Stolte in our Rebel Report Timeout. But first, let's get started with some hoops.
The two teams that met in the Final Four in 1991 and the championship game in 1990 squared up at T-Mobile Arena for the first time in 25 years. We were there to bring you more. Decades in the making, we finally got to witness the first UNLV Duke game in 25 years. The final result wasn't exactly what UNLV wanted, but fans got a little taste of what this rivalry was in the 1990s. It was a tough game as the Runnin Rebels hosted the fifth-ranked Blue Devils. Within 7 minutes into the game, Duke had a 20-3 lead, which set the tone for the rest of the game. Duke benefited from Grayson Allen's 34-point career-high performance, while UNLV's Jalen Poyser added 16 points to lead all scores for the Runnin Rebels. Although the end result of this match didn't favor UNLV, the rich history between both programs will live on.
I talked to the guys yesterday and tried to instill in them their history. You know, when you sign with a school, you got to know their history. So I told them, man, just be conscious of your history and try to play hard every game.
We actually set up the game, not with commercials, just for them to get the flavor of a high-level game and to know, you know, none of them were alive when the game was played. And to let them know that they're going into a game where they have we're playing against a very proud opponent that has accomplished a lot.
We ran into, if not the best, like Uche said, one of the top, I mean, up to Final Four team, okay, so, and we didn't win, okay, so it is what it is, you know, now we got to take that and I hope I'm not coming across to forget the score. You know, my guys are playing hard. They're just not playing smart right now.
Coach K also talked about when he was offered to play in this game, it was a no-brainer for him. For the Report, I'm Luis Negrete. The final score was 94-45. Although this was a 49-point win for Duke, we hope UNLV gets a rematch in the years to come.
The crowd at the T-Mobile Arena was loud and packed. Thousands of seats were filled with red and blue. Joanne Mendoza with more on the largest crowd to see a basketball game in Las Vegas since 1991.
With the cleaning crew here behind me at the T-Mobile Arena, they're picking up what's left out of this sold-out crowd against UNLV and Duke. It was a blowout game, but both teams managed to walk away with the rivalry renewed. There was over 19,000 fans in attendance at the first college basketball game at the T-Mobile Arena, and considering the 5-hour flight difference from Durham, Carolina to Las Vegas, the stadium was filled with many Blue Devil fans. The devastating loss had many wondering what has happened to the UNLV basketball program, and former sports anchor Ron Futrell, who covered the Rebels in their prime, discusses his disappointment with the outcome.
This game today, sadness. The UNLV's basketball program isn't up to par with Duke's. I mean, I was at the two games in Denver and in Indianapolis when they blew out Duke by 30, first of all, in the championship game. So, yeah, a little bit of sadness to think that the Rebel program self-destructed to the point that it's not on a par with Duke, and it should have been.
Although this is UNLV head coach Marvin Menzies' first season with the Rebels, many do not blame him for the outcome of the game.
Marvin, he's in a tough situation. He's taken over a program. I like Marvin. I think he's going to help rebuild the Rebel program. I look at it from a different perspective because I was here when the Rebel program was great and covered them when they were winning a national championship and going to Final Fours all the time. So, so with Marvin, yeah, he's in a tough position, obviously.
This is the largest crowd in attendance since the 1991 face-off, and despite UNLV not winning their attendance, it is still marked as one of the highest in the West Coast. For the Rebel Report, I'm Joanne Mendoza.
UNLV still has two powerhouse teams like Oregon, who they play on the 17th, and Kansas on the 22nd. We'll have even more reaction from this game from legendary broadcaster Dick Vitale a little later in the show.
If you can't attend home games for the Runnin Rebels in person, the School of Journalism at the UNLV is giving you another option to listen to those games. Our own Jennifer Hurtado explains.
This season, the Runnin Rebels are upping their game with not only a new coach and new players, but a live game broadcast on UNLV's radio station, KUNV.
We added programming for sports programming here on the station just this year as something that gives a new chance for students to learn different skills and to broadcast to our audience.
The segment is completely run by students in the journalism program.
I'm actually in the broadcast class through the UNLV journalism department. So with this class, we were offered the opportunity to come out to football games or basketball games and volunteer to do the live broadcast. So I chose to do basketball.
You can tune in to KUNV's sports broadcast during scheduled basketball and football games. For the Rebel Report, I'm Jennifer Hurtado.
This is a great opportunity for students to practice in the field. The KUNV production air on 91.5 FM.
UNLV hockey is having a tremendous season so far with an 8-game winning streak. The team hasn't lost since the beginning of November. At the beginning of November. The Skating Rebels received some exciting news from the American Collegiate Hockey Association that's boosting the team to new heights. Here's Barbara Farkas with more.
The Skating Rebels have most of their success on the ice, but their biggest win of the season came on November 29th when the ACHA voted to move UNLV from D2 to Men's Division I, beginning with the 2017-18 season.
It's very rewarding. I mean, especially for me coming in last year. We went the year before as an unranked program, going to 7th in the West, and now accomplishing the steps forward that we want to take. The forward steps to get to NCAA Division I's awesome, and I think it's very rewarding.
While Las Vegas is not considered to be a conventional hockey market, with the recent addition of an NHL team, the opportunity for growth is looking promising in all aspects of the sport.
I compared a lot to Southern California and Arizona as well. You saw what happened when the NHL teams put their footprint down in Arizona. It took them about 20 years to really get a full base, but the youth hockey numbers are up there. They're extremely popular now. You have a #1 overall pick in the National Hockey League this past year from Scottsdale, Arizona. The success that the Kings and Ducks programs have had at the youth level, it's a perfect model for what we're going to be able to do here. And I think that having high-level college hockey, high-level professional hockey at the NHL level is just going to benefit kids from younger ages all the way up.
The jump to D1 isn't stopping the team's ultimate goal of gaining full NCAA Division I varsity status over the next few years. But with the abundance of local talent, UNLV hockey will continue to recruit not only across state lines, but venture overseas as well to find the freshest talent.
Well, last year we went all around. We got 3 Canadians, 2 Swedes, so now it just opens up. The day that it happened, I woke up, I had 78 text messages, and half of them, the kids I didn't even know. So for recruiting-wise, it's huge. Everybody wants to play here. It's a great school. You can golf right now in the winter. We have what you can do in nightlife. So it's an easy sell for our team.
For the Rebel Report, I'm Barbara Farkas.
UNLV closed their first semester as the first ACHA team to 21 wins with dominating play in December, sweeping #3 ranked NAU and San Jose State. To have the first #1 ranking in program history, the team will be back on ice in January, continuing their hopes to skate into nationals in March.
Volleyball finished out their season in the NCAA tournament unable to defeat BYU in the second round. The ladies had an impressive season, racking up a total of 24 wins overall. Two players in particular stood out this season, Bree Hamill and Alexis Patterson, as both were named to the Mountain West All-Conference team. For both Hamill and Patterson, this is not their first recognition to the All-Conference team. This is Las Vegas native Bree Hamill's third consecutive year and Phoenix, Arizona's Alexis Patterson's second. In the NCAA, Patterson ranks 18th in triple doubles, 41st in assists per set, and 47th in total assists. Patterson was also recognized as the Rebel of the Week back in the first week of October. As for Hamill, she was recently honored with the All-Pacific South Region Honorable Mention by the American Volleyball Coaches Association for the second time. Hamill, a graduating senior, was also named the Mountain West Player of the Week 3 times in her career.
Because without, the passes, without the blocks, without all of their support, I wouldn't have been able to do anything in any of those games. And my coaches, they really give me the emotional support and, criticism when needed, all those kinds of things.
It feels great, especially as my senior year. I wouldn't want to finish any other way.
Big congrats to Hamill and Patterson, an all-around great season for UNLV Volleyball. As the ladies head into off-season, we'll see 5 new players on the roster next season.
UNLV recruits athletes from all over the world. We have a wide variety of international students who come and play for our teams. Our own Chelsea Garcia put together a feature on international tennis players, Paola Artiga.
Paola Artiga grew up in El Salvador. She played tennis all her life, starting very young. Her #1 motivation to keep going was her parents.
Well, my parents, I loved tennis since I was a little kid. And then when I was a teenager, my parents kept pushing me, so I will keep practicing and everything. So I kept going, and I really like it. I like that it's very competitive.
She's a highly skilled international tennis player, winning a gold medal at the 2013 Central America Games. And she was ranked #1 in her home nation in 16 and under and 18 and under during her junior years. So when UNLV recruits somebody, they not only sell the university and all that we offer to them, but the city itself.
Well, I had options where I wanted to go. I was getting recruited, so at the end I really liked the city and the team seemed very nice, so I chose UNLV.
Right now, Artiga is a central figure on the women's tennis team. In her career at UNLV, she posted 7-3 for singles tournament play last year, and despite going through 3 different partners, managed to take a doubles title from the most recent tournament.
Right now I'm an international business. I only have 1 year left, and I want to go to grad school and study accounting and be a CPA.
Hopefully, Artiga continues the UNLV excellence and comes back here for grad school. For the Rebel Report, I'm Chelsea Garcia.
The women's tennis team returns on January 13 at Fertitta Tennis Complex for the Memorial Championship.
As the Oakland Raiders look to snap a 14-season playoff drought this year, many here in Las Vegas are counting the days until the NFL regular season is over, when owners can finally begin the voting process to approve the Raiders to come to Las Vegas.
But before voting begins for the owners, the new Stadium Authority Board needs to approve the site that will serve as a home for the Raiders and the UNLV football team. The Rebel Report, Leonardo Schauer, was there at the first board meeting.
Las Vegas is inching closer to becoming an NFL city. The new Stadium Authority Board met for the first time December 5th to introduce board members and discuss procedures for the upcoming months. The board will oversee contracts and select a potential site for a 65,000-seat stadium that would become the new home of the Raiders and the UNLV Rebels. Last October, Governor Brian Sandoval signed the proposed bill to fund the $1.9 billion project through an increase in hotel taxes and other private ventures. Executive Director of the Thomas & Mack Center, Mike Newcomb, who serves as a voting member of the Stadium Authority, is excited for the potential growth of UNLV football and the city of Las Vegas by bringing the Raiders to the Silver State.
Well, like I said, day one, historic. Think of the possibilities where we're going to end up someday. Brand new stadium for Rebel football, all the events to this great city, and an NFL team in Las Vegas. It's just huge. To be part of this and moving forward is just a great opportunity.
The leading candidates for a stadium site have been the current location of the Bali High Golf Club just south of the Mandalay Bay Hotel. The other location is between Russell Road and Hacienda Avenue, west of the I-15. A third possible site, however, emerged during the December 5th meeting. Las Vegas real estate developer Fred Nasiri offered a 67-acre site on Las Vegas Boulevard South and Blue Diamond.
I own the 67-acre property on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Blue Diamond Road. I'm asking you to consider this location. They are able to make a deal with Raiders and with the state. So I'm asking for your consideration, asking the board member to come and look at my property, stand on it, including the Raiders. I have been talking to Raiders in the past, so I'm hoping that you would reconsider this whole putting in Russell Road. At least consider my property and look at it.
The stadium board plans to hold monthly meetings through the league owners' voting process and stadium construction to ensure a smooth transition for the Raiders to Las Vegas. For the Rebel Report, I'm Leonardo Schauer.
The board expects to add 2 more voting members this month and a team of lawyers to oversee contracts and the design of the construction process.
And for those of us who want an NFL team in our city, we will be keeping a close eye on the owners' meetings in January to see if they approve the Raiders to move to Las Vegas. 24 of the 32 owners will need to okay the relocation to bring the Raiders to Vegas. Now let's go to Lindsay for this week's Rebel Report. Timeout.
Rebel Report. Timeout.
Hey guys, I'm here for our last interview of the year, and I'm here with Stan Stolte, the head baseball coach. This is his 2nd year as the head coach, and this is actually his first time on the show. So Stan, I thought I'd start off talking to you about your fall. So you guys had the Scarlet and Gray World Series. Were your expectations where they were supposed to be?
Well, that's kind of after we evaluate after the total fall's done, and yeah, we're happy where we're at. We didn't throw as many guys this fall, as many innings or pitches as we normally do, because we had some guys that were hurt, and so we kind of took it easy on them, but very happy where we're at.
And speaking of your fall, was there anything done differently this fall to get you guys ready for this upcoming season than past ones?
No, not really. We just, beat fundamentals into their head, and we play as scrimmage as much as we possibly can. And the only thing different, we didn't play outside competition this fall. We usually play somebody one time, and this year we didn't do that.
Was there a reason for that?
No, we just didn't. It just didn't work out, because if we play in the fall, it counts against us in the spring. And we just decided to play all 56 games that were allowed in the spring, and it just didn't work out for the teams to travel here and play a couple of those weekends.
Okay, and so your pitching staff from last year to this year is quite a bit different. You've lost all your starting pitchers from last year. How do you think the boys now are going to be able to fill in those roles?
Well, we're going to find out. I know we got Coach Greg Maddox on board to work with the pitchers this year, and that's helped quite a bit. But he's not out there doing the actual pitching, so the kids are going to have to step up. I like what we've the progress we made this fall, and I think we have a chance to give us a chance to win.
Having Greg Maddox, that's a pretty big deal. Is it? I know his son's on the team. Is he filling in a coach role pretty well, or is he wants to be on the pitching mound himself?
No, he's all about instructing and making the kids better, and he's done a great job from the first day, as all our coaches have, and he's got them going in the right direction. He's got his hands full. It's a tough job. Like you said, we lost probably 80% of their innings from last year, but the guys we got just got to step up.
Okay, on the other hand of that, your offense, your field players, they are mostly returners. So how's the offense looking right now?
No, it's Coach Kevin Higgins does a great job with the hitters, and Coach Armstrong helps out quite a bit too, and we're very happy where we're at. We have a lot of left-handed hitters, and that had some success last year, and others need to improve a lot, but I think could be the strength of our team this year.
I'd like to talk to you about a few of those players actually out there. Justin Jones, this is his 5th year now. He's captain. He's been a big player on this team for a long time. What are you expecting from him this season?
Oh, just to be Justin Jones and just be the same steady guy he's been for the last 4 years. And he's a good leader, more by example. He's not real vocal, but he's just a great kid and plays hard every day. And he's really good defensively, and we just got to get him to swing it more consistently. He shows signs, but from game 1 to game 56 or hopefully 60 something, he shows a little more consistency swinging the bat.
Okay, I want to make sure I fit in these questions because you have a lot of guys on the team from Vegas. You're getting a lot of Vegas kids. What is the Vegas talent like? I mean, we know we have players. They didn't go to UNLV, but players like Bryce Harper, players like Chris Bryant are from Vegas. How is that Vegas talent here?
We think it's really good, and for us, the way our scholarship situation is, we have to keep the good local kids home, and we know we're not going to get all of them, and some of them are going to sign pro, but if we get a good majority of them, we feel we can compete nationally with the better ones here.
Talking about your upcoming season, any non-conference games you're really excited for?
Well, all of them. I'm excited for every game, but probably just on paper, I would say Fullerton's will be the most challenging. They come here for 3 games, and they're loaded as usual. And I think we go to Iowa Big Ten team, which is always fun, going to the big Power 5 schools and hopefully performing well. And our opening series, like I say, Arizona State's always fun to go to, and we got a challenging non-conference schedule.
Yeah, plus you got a lot of Arizona players. But Fullerton, they're coming here. That should be a really fun game for everyone to go watch. Fortunately, I have to end the interview, but thank you so much. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Lindsay. Last but not least, the final Outstanding Rebel of the Week award for the fall semester goes to UNLV volleyball player Bree Hamill. The redshirt senior received the award for turning in the best individual performance by a student athlete during the previous week of competition. Hamill has been a star in the middle blocker position for the Rebels for several years. In her final season, the right side hitter led the Rebels to their first ever win in the NCAA postseason tournament with a first-round upset of the number 22 ranked Utah Utes. Hamill led the team with 18 kills and 7 blocks, propelling them into the second round. However, another stellar performance from Hamill would not be enough to get past BYU Cougars. While the loss ended UNLV's season, the 2016 campaign will definitely go down as one of the best in program history. This is Bree's 3rd time winning the award, and we here at the Rebel Report wish her the best of luck and continued success.
It's finals weeks for us, and it only seems appropriate to have a story on the school aspect of athletics at UNLV. So here's a fun story by our own Lindsay DeBali on how athletes manage school on top of their sport.
When we think about athletes, we tend to forget that the word student goes in front of that. Regardless of their skills, they must have the #1 priority of being good students. That would not be possible without the help of their advisors and the Academic Success Center. When you are an athlete on scholarship or not, you are given the resources to work closer with your team-specific academic advisor. Alan Hott, the Assistant Director for Student Athletes Academic Services, works with a number of sports including baseball, men's tennis, women's tennis, and women's soccer. He explains to us what these athletes must do academically in order to stay eligible according to the NCAA.
They have to pass 6 credits every semester. They have to pass 18 credits during a full year, so that would be fall and spring, not including summer. And then once they hit their junior year, they have to meet 40% of their degree, and then 60% of their degree and 80% of their degree moving forward.
When entering the Academic Success Center, you can always find athletes doing homework, studying, or just hanging out, all while being able to have their advisor close by for help.
Oh, I love my advisors. They're awesome. Honestly, we kind of just come in here and chill with them, and then we do our homework and everything, but they're really fun to be around, and they're really helpful. They pretty much laid out my classes. They told me what I needed to be prepared for, so I was expecting everything. It helps me get everything organized so I don't feel like overwhelmed, and then it's easy to focus on athletics, practice, and do well in school too.
Personally, for Alan Hott, he has accomplishments with his teams, including women's soccer, earning awards for the 2015-2016 school year because of their overall 3.16 team GPA. 5 men's tennis players were put on the all-academic team, along with 2 women's tennis players. Then the #1 team GPA for all 17 of UNLV sports was given to the men's tennis team. It is clear that these shining moments would not be possible without the hard-working advisor along their side.
The best part of my job is getting to know each athlete. Everybody's different, and we don't see the athletes once a month or once a semester like a regular advisor would. We get to interact with the athletes every day.
Student athletes are very lucky to have such a great support system here on campus, and lucky for UNLV too, because we need those Rebels geared up and ready to perform. I'm Lindsay DeValle for the Rebel Report.
That sure is a nice resource to have. Good thing all of our athletes deserve it, considering all the hard work they put into being a Rebel.
Sadly, the Runnin Rebels were not able to seek revenge against the Blue Devils on December 10th at T-Mobile. This game has been long past due for many Rebel fans who witnessed the greatness of the 90s. Shakira Hawkins gives us another perspective on the history between these two teams.
I feel like I'm in a time machine, but this time around, we are not at the Thomas and Mack. We are at the T-Mobile Arena. This is the first time in 25 years these teams has played against each other. A rivalry is renewed.
The 1990-91 UNLV Runnin Rebels roster is considered one of the best basketball squad in college history. Fast forward to a new era, UNLV basketball is a completely new program with new head coach Marvin Menzies, while Coach K is in his 37th season as the head coach of the Blue Devils. Despite the Rebels losing against Duke, legendary sportscaster Dick Vitale still has high hopes for the future of Rebel basketball.
Well, you know, you think about great tradition. Obviously, UNLV for years has had great tradition, and Duke 5 national championships, and 25 years they haven't met, but the talent level was such a difference maker. Obviously, Duke's got tremendous talent. It'll be a matter of time, but I believe Marvin Menzies will go out and get players. What a beautiful arena, too, to be part of it was really nice.
Even though the Runnin Rebels could not pull through with the win, we still have high hopes for them for the rest of the season and the conference play. For the Rebel Report, I'm Shakira Hawkins.
Rebels, baby. I love Dick Vitale. The rivalry between us is hopefully not over, but there is another scheduled game between the two teams in the foreseeable future. Hopefully. I hope so. We're here at the Rebel Report. Just want to thank you for watching this semester, and thank you for Channel 2 for beginning our broadcast. We hope you all continue to watch this show as it continues in the spring.
So it might seem like what we know what we're doing here at the Rebel Report, but trust me when I say I think all of our reporters are glad we don't film our stand-ups live. So check out some of our bloopers from this season, and we'll see you in 2017.
What did I say? Is the Shriners Hospital for Children open? Is the Shriners Hospitals for Children open?
UNLV's baseball is very What?
Hi, I'm Lindsay Duvally for this week's Show Me Your Skills with UNLV Baseball's very own Blaze Bohall and Corey Wilson. Let's see what we're going to learn today. Look at that. That's so easy.
Palandig might have not known he was starting this season, but when his
Here at TPC Summerlin, and the excitement came down all on the 18th hole. I never know what to do with my hands.
The UNLV men's soccer team are only 6 games into their season, but the goal for
For the Rebel Report, I'm Leonardo Schauer. For the Rebel Report, I'm Leonardo Schauer. For the Rebel Report, I'm Leonardo Schaefer.
Las Vegas native Jesse Vargas is going to Las Vegas. Hold on. Stop looking at me. You're making nerves. It was Heroes Week for UNLV athletics, and
The NCAA volleyball's words. I know them. The NCAA Women's Volleyball Association. No.
Hi, class. It's your favorite professor, John Gastonino here.
Lefty.
Good work. Nice job, guys. Really
Are we supposed to say something right now? Our mics aren't live, are they? Good.
Merry Christmas. Step.
Everybody. Oh, missed it.